a firefighter. That's how I make most of my living. And I like helping people. And I naturally want to do something for someone or something that's in trouble. It's what I enjoy doing. So my wife, in 2008, read an article about how the bees were in trouble and how there was something called colony collapse disorder, and what the heck was it? She read it in the Tennessean and she said, hey, check this out. And I was like, huh, honeybees. That's interesting. Why is everybody afraid of honeybees? Bees are extremely important to our environment and our life. 1 out of every 3 bites that you take is thanks to a honeybee, pollinating a crop or fruit or whatever the case may be. So if we didn't have honeybees anymore, we would be in deep, deep trouble. We need them very much, just as much as they need us to try and survive right now. Williams Honey Farm is based in Franklin, Tennessee, and we do many things. We raise nucleus beehives, which are right behind me, which help new beekeepers get started every spring, usually around April, mid-April or so. We raise queens, so we raise local queens that are local to Tennessee and have our temperament and our understanding of the environment and the region around us, and the temperature and the seasons. We pollinate crops with solitary bees, which are stingless bees that are very gentle and are incredible pollinators. We produce raw honey. There's no real organic standard, but we are close to organic as you can get. We don't treat our hives with anything other than love and affection. We don't use antibiotics or any sort of harsh chemicals. We don't pasteurize our honey. So our honey is very different than the average honey you're going to find out there. It's handmade or hand spun. We are very connected to our livestock. A while back, we partnered with a company called Crown Bees, which are based in Washington, and they supply solitary bees to the whole country. And what we decided to do was, how can we best help farmers in Tennessee and this entire region of the Southeast? Well, we can put these solitary bees on their farms and in essence triple the production of produce that they can get out of their fields.
Jay Williams brought out some solitary bees this year, and it's the first year we've had them. But we brought out a T-post in the background, and it was a T-post hive, and it had leafcutter bees in it. He brought out about 1,000 leafcutter bees, and these solitary bee colonies of the leafcutter bees, actually they're superhero pollinators. They probably tripled our pollination rate this year, and it made for a very successful garden. By having a triple pollination rate, we were a little bit overwhelmed because we have never had this much produce before. It increased our sales on our U-pick garden about 35%, and we closed our garden 2 weeks early this year because of the heat and the excessive amount of rain. Our plants deteriorated fast, but so there's no telling how much we would have actually had in production.
It's a very little known technique. This is brand new, and we were able to do just that this year on multiple farms in Tennessee.
They do a super job with having either mason bees for the spring or being able to do leafcutter bees for the summer, because we're definitely going to continue this program.
And doing it all with a smile on their face, no one gets stung. It's very calm and quiet, you barely know they're there. And they love it, we love it, and it also helps spread the message. So the first thing that people can start doing today to help the bees and help pollinators in your area is stop using chemicals in your backyard. The more you can treat your backyard as your pet, literally that you take care of it, you want to make sure that it's healthy, make sure that it's protected. The more you can do that, the better off it's going to be for the pollinators. I would stop using Roundup or any sort of those herbicide chemicals, and I would try and use more natural ways to combat any sort of problems you have in your backyard. One thing that someone can also do, in addition to planting bee-friendly flowers in the backyard and stop using chemicals, is to get native bees in their backyard. Native bees are also called mason bees, they're also called summer garden bees, leafcutter bees. Surprisingly, they're incredible pollinators. One native bee is the equivalent to 100 honeybees. They are actually 100 times more efficient at pollinating than a honeybee is. Most people just don't know about it. Every day that I come to this bee yard or other bee yards that I'm working, I learn something new from a tiny little bug. I feel like they can teach us something in how they run their hive and how they operate, and we can apply it to our lives. There's one leader, they follow that leader. Everybody has a job, there's really no freeloading. They work as hard as they possibly can, and their ultimate mission is the survival of the hive rather than their personal survival. And I think that there's something to be said for that. You can apply to your own life, that you don't just think about yourself, you think about everybody around you and how you can best help your house, your environment, your company, whatever the case may be. So the takeaway message here is that honeybees and bees in general are your friend. They're not your enemy. They're very, very beneficial and they're very important to our lives. And anybody can start today to help the bees in general. You can raise solitary bees in your backyard. You can become a honeybee keeper as well. And we love helping people get started in the honeybee business and raising their own honey, selling it to friends, or just enjoying it with their own family. Anybody can become a beekeeper from young to old, and we can help you get started. You just need to contact us and we will take care of the rest.